Hi, this is Jacob from Westwind Moto, and today we have the newly released Enduro 80. The Ranger Wilds Enduro is a completely rackless pannier set that comes with one 30-liter dry bag that mounts in the middle on the back, and two 25-liter dry bags that hang on either side, which go inside a mounting harness like so, totaling 80 liters of storage. In addition to the 30-liter dry bag that goes on the back, the two 25-liter dry bags that mount in the mounting harnesses on either side, the kit also comes with a Ranger Wilds base that connects the two mounting harnesses, two ABS plastic panels that serve as supports for the mounting harnesses, a heat shield and hose clamps to mount on your exhaust pipe to prevent the bags from melting should they come into contact with your hot exhaust, and last but not least, a bungee net to go on the back where you can put wet clothes or even a helmet or something like that if you want. Our design idea behind the Enduro 80 was we took the popular Enduro 40, which features, as you know, two 20-liter dry bags and mounting harnesses on either side. We made these 5 liters bigger, so 25 each, and then we added, again, the 30-liter bag that goes in the middle here. So this is basically the bigger brother or bigger version to the Enduro 40. Okay, now that we've lined it up with our handle facing the rear of the motorcycle and our corner protector here facing the front, on the left bag we find this very long strap here. How do we know which one is left and which one is right? The left side bag is on the side where you have your clutch lever. The right hand side bag is on the side where you have your front brake lever. So we find this strap and we feed it through these two holes here on the Ranger Wilds base. Once we have it slipped through the first hole, we're going to go ahead and open up this Velcro patch here on the back, and then that will reveal the second hole, and we take our hook end here and feed it back through like so. Okay, now we're going to close this up for the time being, flip it back around, and we find our hooked end again, and we are going to hook it into this eyelet here on the outside of the right bag. So the purpose of this strap here is essentially to add added support to the bags. If you have them fully loaded, this will then add an extra layer of support to prevent them from ripping off or tearing or coming under too much stress. Next, we're going to go ahead and take these two hooks here and hook them into the Ranger Wilds base. Although you have 3 options here on either side for different width motorcycles, we suggest using the innermost loops. So we're going to hook them in. Like so. The reason we recommend using the innermost loop is because this keeps it the farthest away from the exhaust pipe and thus reduces the chances of the bags coming into contact with the exhaust pipe and melting. And now we repeat the same process on the other side. So we take these 2 big hooks, hook them in through the innermost eyelets, and there we go. Now we've got our mounting harnesses hooked into the Ranger Wilds base through these 4 eyelets here, and then we also have this strap, safety strap, running through underneath. For our next step, we take our ABS plastic support panels here. We have an L here, which obviously means left, and an R here, which stands for right. We line them up, line up the holes. And then we take our included screw kit like this. And for each screw, we use 2 washers. So 1 washer on the top and then 1 washer on the bottom. And after you have all the 6 screws installed with washers on both sides, it should look something like this. Now that we have our ABS support panel here assembled, we're going to slip it into the base. So first, it's important to note that the textured side of the support panel faces downward. So this should be the side that's resting against the motorcycle. So we're going to first take the left end here, slip it into this slot there. Then we're going to open up our Velcro patch here again on the bottom, like so. And before we close that, we're going to slip it into the right side. And then finally we're going to close it like so. And when it's finished, it should look something like this. To install it on the motorcycle, it's pretty simple. We take the left side and throw it over the left side, the right side and throw it over the right side. Okay, now that we've got the bag slipped into the mounting harnesses, it's time for us to mount it on the motorcycle. So we throw it over like so, and then just like with the Enduro 40, we find these straps here on the back and start to loop them around to secure it. So to do that, we're going to first take the left side here and wrap it around basically the tail of the motorcycle, cross it over, and then hook it into one of the eyelets on the base plate there. And then we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. But we're not going to tighten it just yet. Now, just like with the Enduro 40 setup, we have the strap here in the front, that we are going to, in this case, loop around, I would say, the rear part of the subframe here, and then hook it in right under here. And then once we've repeated the process on the other side, we're going to go ahead and tighten all the straps. So now that we have the two 25-liter panniers mounted, it's time for us to take our rear center 30-liter bag and mount it on the bike. So to do that, we're going to take these two straps here and feed them through any of the 4 slots here on the top. Obviously, it depends on what motorcycle you're mounting it on. In this case, for this BMW, we're going to mount it through here, the second slot here, and this first slot here. And then in this case, because we don't have a rear rack, we're just going to hook it right through this little eyelet here on the base plate. And then we're going to repeat the same process on the other side. And then for the front strap here, we're also going to hook it into this loop here on the back of the base plate. And again, we repeat the same process on the other side. And then the excess strap, we're going to roll up like this. There we go. And now we have 80 liters of storage.